Hey everyone, welcome back to Echoes of the Reality, the place where we dive deep into life's mysteries, truths, and untold awakenings. If you're here today, it's not a coincidence. Life may be trying to whisper something in your ear. Have you ever felt like something is shifting in your life, even if you can't quite explain it? A strange calm before a beautiful storm? A gut feeling that something amazing is just around the corner? Well, you're not alone. In today's powerful, soul-stirring episode, we're going to uncover 100 signs that you're about to enter the best stage of your life. Yes, 100. This isn't just surface-level fluff. Each of these signs carries meaning, energy, and weight. If even a few of these resonate with you, it's more than a hint. It's a declaration that something greater is arriving. So grab a cup of tea, sit back, and let's journey together through the signs of transformation, alignment, and evolution. You might just realize your next chapter isn't coming, it's already here. And hey, if you're new here, consider subscribing to Echoes of the Reality. And if something today hits your heart, don't forget to hit that like button. Share this with someone who needs it, and let's talk in the comments. I read every single one of them. Now let's begin. Sunrise sign 1. You're letting go without needing closure. This one is subtle, but powerful. Have you noticed you're no longer desperately seeking answers for the past? The old relationships. The jobs that didn't work out. The dreams that faded. Something inside you no longer needs closure. You're simply letting go. Let's take a moment to really understand what this means. Closure is often a human desire for understanding, for wrapping everything up in a neat little bow so we can move on. But the best stage of your life doesn't wait for you to analyze the old chapters. It begins the moment you trust the wisdom of moving forward without knowing why everything happened. Maybe you used to replay past conversations in your head, needing to justify your choices. Maybe you spent months or years waiting for an apology or for a moment of clarity that never came. But now you're just tired of waiting. And more than that, you're realizing the waiting doesn't serve you anymore. This isn't numbness, it's peace. Real peace. When you begin to feel the beauty of detachment without bitterness, you're stepping into emotional maturity. And that maturity is the soil where your best life begins to bloom. Because here's the secret, life doesn't give you closure. You give you closure. When you trust that what's ahead is better than what's behind, even if it's unknown. You've already stepped through the invisible door into the next version of your life. So ask yourself, are you letting go finally, without needing a reason? If yes, your best stage is already unfolding. Compass sign 2, you feel lost, but peaceful. This might sound confusing at first, How can someone feel lost and peaceful at the same time? But think about it. You're no longer clinging to an old identity. The version of you that once needed to prove something, please everyone, or follow a rigid path, is dissolving. And with that loss of identity comes a strange sensation, like floating in the unknown. But for the first time, it doesn't scare you. It actually feels kind of free. You may not know what your next job will be. The version of you that once needed to prove something, please everyone, or follow a rigid path, is dissolving. And with that loss of identity comes a strange sensation, like floating in the unknown. But for the first time, it doesn't scare you. It actually feels kind of free. You may not know what your next job will be. You might have ended a long-term relationship or moved to a new city. Maybe you're in between, in a space society doesn't talk about much, but inside there's a knowing. A quiet reassurance that everything's happening exactly as it should. This is the void before the breakthrough. The best stage of your life is rarely preceded by clarity. It's preceded by surrender. When you're no longer chasing outcomes or pretending to have all the answers, the universe finally has room to move. You've stopped fighting. You've stopped resisting. You're not trying to figure everything out. You're trusting that what's meant for you will find you, even if you don't have a GPS. It's like walking into a forest with no map, but feeling in your heart that you're being led. And here's the wild truth. Every major transformation begins with this moment, the quiet peace of feeling lost but not broken. So if that's you right now, take a deep breath. Your soul is preparing for expansion. You are not lost. You are in motion, and your next chapter will find you where you least expect it. Herb sign 3. You're attracted to simplicity. Suddenly, the noise doesn't appeal to you anymore. The late night scrolling, the empty conversations, the chaotic lifestyle, it all feels exhausting. And your soul is craving silence, space, nature, authenticity. You might find yourself decluttering, not just your home, but your digital life, your friend group, your commitments. Subscribing. Literally and spiritually. And here's what's really happening. Your inner frequency is shifting. When you're about to enter the best stage of your life, you no longer find joy in superficial stimulation. You start seeking quality over quantity. In everything. You'd rather have a real conversation with one person than 100 likes on a post. You'd rather walk in nature than spend another hour in traffic heading to something you don't care about. This is a sign that your priorities are realigning. You're no longer chasing what looks good, you're seeking what feels right. Simplicity doesn't mean a lack of ambition. It means clarity. It means trimming the noise so that the signal can come through. And that signal is your intuition, your higher self, your future calling you toward peace. When you begin simplifying your life, not out of obligation, but out of desire, that's not minimalism. That's spiritual transformation. Your life is making room for magic. Sign 4. You're getting uncomfortable with old habits. You used to be okay staying up late, binge watching shows, eating whatever was quick, skipping workouts, or hanging out with people who drained you. But now? It doesn't feel right anymore. You might not have replaced all the old habits yet, but you feel the friction. And that discomfort is a sign. Why? Because you're outgrowing the version of you that needed those habits for survival. The best stage of your life requires energy, alignment, clarity, and your body, mind, and spirit are beginning to demand it. This isn't about shame. It's about awareness. Maybe you're noticing you can't ignore your mental health anymore. Or you feel guilty when you waste an entire day numbing yourself. Or maybe you're starting to crave routines that nourish you rather than distract you. This discomfort is transformation trying to break through. You're not meant to repeat the same patterns forever. You're designed to evolve. And when the old no longer fits, it's because the new is trying to arrive. Change always begins with discomfort. It's the soul's alarm clock. So if you're feeling uneasy in old habits, don't panic, celebrate it. It means you're waking up. Your higher self is preparing you for a chapter where those habits no longer serve. A chapter filled with vitality, purpose, and discipline that feels like love, not punishment. Milky Way Sign 5. Synchronicities are increasing. You start seeing repeating numbers 1111, 222, 333. You hear a song that speaks directly to what you were just thinking. You randomly meet someone who shares the exact message you needed to hear. These moments aren't coincidences. They're breadcrumbs from the universe. Synchronicities are how the universe whispers, "You're on the right path." When you're about to step into the best stage of your life, reality starts bending around you. You'll feel it. You'll know when something is more than random. These are signs that you're aligning with your purpose, your higher frequency, your truth. And here's what's crazy. The more you notice them, the more they appear. That's because awareness amplifies alignment. You're not imagining these signs. You're tuning into them. Sign 6. Emotional triggers are becoming teachers, not tormentors. In the past, your emotions might have felt overwhelming. One small comment from someone could ruin your entire day. A piece of criticism could spiral you into self-doubt. You used to take things personally, deeply, constantly wondering what was wrong with you. But something is different now. The triggers are still there. But instead of reacting with rage, fear, or shame, you're starting to observe them. You pause. You breathe. And instead of exploding, you explore. You start asking, why did this upset me? What is this trying to show me? What wound is still open? This isn't weakness. This is wisdom. You're no longer a prisoner to your emotional storm. You're becoming the observer, the quiet space in which the storm passes. When you begin using your triggers as teachers, you're entering a new level of consciousness. Because emotional intelligence isn't about never feeling. It's about learning to feel without being consumed. You're shifting from unconscious reactivity to conscious reflection. Think of it like this. The universe is refining you, not punishing you. Every trigger is a mirror. And now, instead of smashing the mirror, you're looking into it. When you reach this stage, the emotional weight you've been carrying for years begins to lighten. The old narratives begin to dissolve. And suddenly, you start becoming emotionally sovereign. That's the foundation of a new life. A life you create, not one you react to. Seedling Sign 7. You're redefining success. There was a time when success meant climbing ladders, chasing titles, getting applause, acquiring things. Society painted a picture of success that was loud, shiny, and externally validated. But you've started to question it all. Is that really your definition of success? Or one you inherited? You begin to feel it in your bones. Success doesn't mean more. It means alignment. It means waking up without dread. It means being present with your loved ones. It means living a life that reflects your values, not your ego. You're no longer interested in the rat race. You don't want to win a game that doesn't nourish your soul. Instead, you're drawn to a different kind of wealth. Peace, health, freedom, joy. You're starting to understand that success isn't about how it looks. It's about how it feels. And that shift in perspective is everything. Because once you stop chasing someone else's dream, you finally make space to build your own. This is the moment your inner compass becomes louder than outside pressure. You stop measuring yourself against others. You stop needing to prove yourself. You realize your path doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. It just has to make sense to you. When you redefine success by your soul's standards, not society's, you unlock the doors to the best chapter of your life. A chapter filled with fulfillment, not performance. Person in lotus position Sign 8. Solitude feels nurturing, not lonely. At some point in your journey, you might have feared being alone. Maybe silence used to feel like emptiness. Time alone used to echo with anxiety, boredom, or sadness. But now, it feels like peace. Solitude has become your sanctuary. Not because you hate people, but because you've finally made friends with yourself. When you're alone now, you hear your own thoughts more clearly. You take time to process, to feel, to reflect. You read, journal, take walks, or just sit in stillness. Not because you're avoiding the world, but because you're grounding yourself in it. This isn't isolation, it's integration. When you no longer fear being alone with your own mind, you've healed something profound. You've stopped outsourcing your happiness. You've stopped needing constant distractions or validation. And here's the beautiful paradox. Once you embrace solitude, your relationships actually improve. Because you're no longer connecting from a place of emptiness, but from wholeness. The best stage of your life isn't about being surrounded by people 24/7. It's about being connected to your truth, so that whoever you welcome in is meeting the real you, not the masked version. So if you're craving more solitude lately, honor it. Your soul is inviting you to come home, to yourself. And from that home, all blessings flow. Dove Sign 9. You're attracting deep, soulful connections. Have you noticed that surface-level relationships are falling away? That the friendships that once felt fun now feel draining or forced? You're not being cold. You're evolving. As your frequency rises, your relationships begin to shift. You start attracting people who see you, the real you. Conversations go deeper. Small talk fades. Time with others begins to feel nourishing, not exhausting. These people mirror the growth in you. They don't drain your energy, they expand it. They inspire, challenge, and support your journey. And most importantly, they hold space for your authenticity. You no longer need to perform. You can just be. This is a profound sign that your energy is realigning. The universe is orchestrating encounters that match your vibration. And this happens only when you begin to heal and become more of who you truly are. Don't be surprised if old connections fall away quickly, sometimes painfully. This clearing makes space for something richer, soul-aligned relationships that are built on truth, not transaction. Remember, the best version of your life is not meant to be lived alone, but it is meant to be lived with people who truly see your light. So if your circle is shrinking but deepening, you're not losing. You're leveling up. And your glowing star sign 10, your intuition is getting louder. There was a time when you ignored your gut feelings. You talked yourself out of your instincts. You rationalized red flags. You followed logic even when your heart screamed otherwise. But now, you're beginning to listen. That quiet inner voice is no longer so quiet. It shows up in your body. A tension, a pull, a calm certainty. You feel when something is off, even if it looks good on paper. You know when something is right, even if others don't understand it. This is the awakening of your intuitive power. And intuition, my friend, is the compass of the soul. As you prepare to enter the best stage of your life, your intuition becomes sharper, faster, more reliable. It's not mystical nonsense. It's your inner intelligence, fine-tuned by experience, healing, and awareness. You'll start to trust it more than opinions, trends, or logic. You'll use it in your relationships, your career, your daily choices. And every time you do, life gets smoother, more aligned, more magical. The universe starts to reward your trust with even clearer signs. Because when you honor your inner voice, you're showing life that you're ready to co-create, not just exist. So if your gut feelings are growing stronger lately, don't dismiss them. Lean in. They're guiding you toward the life that's been waiting for you all along. And hey, if you're new here, consider subscribing to Echoes of the Reality. And if something today hits your heart, don't forget to hit that like button. Share this with someone who needs it. And let's talk in the comments. I read every single one of them.